Since 1995, Alabama's sports talk leader, Tiger Communications, proudly presents SportsCall. It's time to join our SportsCall crew as they discuss the latest headlines and happenings around Auburn and the entire sports world. To be part of the show, give us a call at 334-887-3401 locally or toll free at 1-888-9-TIGER-9. We're taking phone calls all show long and want to talk about whatever you've got on your mind. And now, coming to you live from the loveliest village on the plains, Auburn's first and Auburn's favorite sports talk show, SportsCall.
Good afternoon. This is Ryan Lavoie, and welcome to the Abby Awards edition of SportsCall Auburn on Tiger 95.9. As we look back on 2023, we were fortunate to enjoy another successful year of Auburn's first and Auburn's favorite sports talk show. We had numerous interviews with high-profile guests, great discussions with all of our callers, and of course, lots of fun. We also enjoyed opening a new era with a new show host. For over 25 years and still going strong, SportsCall Auburn has brought the best sports talk to the people of East Central Alabama. Welcome to SportsCall.
Welcome back to SportsCall, Tiger 95.9. Ryan Lavoie, Brooks Childress with you as we are pleased to go to the Orthopedic Clinic phone line. And we now welcome on the head basketball coach of Auburn University, Coach Bruce Pearl, onto the show today. Coach Pearl, it's game day. We're all very excited. I just want to know how you've gotten up this morning knowing that Auburn basketball has a game today.
Well, good to be with you, Ryan. Good to be with you, Brooks. I'm excited. I like my team. I'm cautiously optimistic. We had a good workout on Sunday in a private scrimmage against Furman, so I thought we walked away from that pleased with how hard we played. But this is a team with a lot of new pieces and a team that's going to have to continue to learn and grow and get better. And we've got a daunting non-conference schedule, so it's going to heat up real quick.
Coach Pearl, over the offseason, something happened with your program that hasn't really happened a lot since you've taken over, and that's an assistant coach departed. And there was a lot of staff shuffling, and your son, Steven, was elevated to associate head coach. Talk about some of those moves that you made over the offseason with reshuffling that coaching staff.
Well, Steven is ready, and he's had an opportunity to be head coach at a lot of different places for the last several years. And he's just stayed loyal to Auburn and loyal to me, and I'm hoping one day he's going to be the next head coach here at Auburn.
I want to talk about what's going on in the NFL, but also with the running back position in general, as last week maybe one of the more surprising NFL offseason moves, other than obviously Aaron Rodgers finally wanting out of Green Bay, was that Dalvin Cook is being released by the Minnesota Vikings. This is a guy that's had multiple 1,000-yard seasons in a row. He's still 27 years old. Obviously, there is some underlying contract dispute here and all that sort of thing. But it got me wondering. We've talked about shelf lives of NFL running backs, and I went through some of the top running back ages. Everyone from guys we've been with a little longer, like McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, to some of the newcomers or relatively newcomers in this. And I really could not find anyone relevant that is playing a lot of really good football that's really older than 29 at this. I think Raheem Mostert might have been the most relevant over 30 back. Patterson's over 30, but he's about to be third string now in Atlanta. There wasn't much, but it was startling how young these guys are as they phase out and they lose value rapidly. Henry is, I think, 29 right now. So Henry's like the oldest of top 10, 15 running backs go, and he's higher than that still. He had a 1,500-yard year last year. But what are your thoughts on these NFL running backs? We had the discourse about where to take them in the draft back in April. And now when to kind of move on from them, because it seems that you don't really get beyond 27, 28 years old as guys being starter caliber in the NFL.
Obviously the running back in the NFL is definitely not a big value to teams now. You don't see teams basing their offensive identity around a running back to start. Now, obviously, when a guy comes in and shows that they can be a Christian McCaffrey or a Derrick Henry, then sure, You utilize that a lot. But teams are going to be, in the NFL, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be centered around quarterback, wide receiver, because it's a very pass-happy league. But like I said, if you get a Derrick Henry, if you get a McCaffrey, if you get an Ezekiel Elliott in his prime, then yeah, you're going to use them a lot more. But until you have that true game-changing guy, you're not going to really center your offense around that. So I think that's where the undervalue for running backs come. And then in like the case of Dalvin Cook, you don't have to have Dalvin Cook. That's the thing. And it's a shame because he is a really good running back, but because of the way the league is, you don't feel like that you just have to have him. But you have to have a quarterback. You have to have some, a couple of really good wide receivers, because that's just where the game has gone, at least in the NFL. It's different in college.
And so my stance here is not like this is, some injustice being done here, but I guess why I bring it up, it's like it's kind of shocking that these guys can be gotten rid of in the middle of other people's primes. Like if we're a wide receiver, if you're 27, this is like prime. Sure. For you. And if you're 27 as a DB, you're in your prime, and all these other positions. Hell, at quarterback 27, you might not still have everything that you're going to have one day. You might still be understanding the game. But it's shocking how, in my mind, this is kind of justified. Like, I'm not seeing the great argument for why you wouldn't start to phase out these guys 5 years into a career. Do you have a counter?
I think the only way that you can justify holding on to an older running back is if he is more than a running back. We keep bringing up Christian McCaffrey, and he's such a rare breed.
Because he's entering this territory. He's 27 now. He's getting to that breaking point age.
But that's the kind of player you have to be. You have to be able to be a great running back and also a great receiver and also be a great blocker. And you have to do all of these other things other than just take the handoff and run the ball. And I think that's the only type of player that will be held on to into the 30s. And I think that San Francisco does want to build around Christian McCaffrey. I don't think they're planning on letting go of him anytime soon, but it will be interesting to see as he enters that part of his career, what does he slow down at all? What does San Francisco have in store for him?
Welcome back to Sports Call here on Tiger 95.9. Ryan Lavoie and Brooks Childress with you here, and we're pleased to be joined now on our Auburn Bank phone line by Ryan Preece, the driver of the number 41 Ford Mustang for Stewart Haas Racing. Ryan, the time is greatly appreciated today. How are things in your world?
Yeah, it's going great. Definitely excited and eager to get down to Nashville this weekend. It's a place where I've had a lot of success, so hopefully we can get a third guitar and have some fast Ford Mustangs. I
want to go back to your start in racing, because we see a lot of guys in NASCAR come from a certain footprint, and you're from the state of Connecticut. I know that's where Joey Logano is from, and I'll admit, even though I'm a big NASCAR guy, I don't know what the racing looks like in Connecticut. So growing up for you, what was the racing like in Connecticut, and what made you fall in love with the sport?
Yeah, so you're missing out, man. It's so raw and pure, and growing up in Connecticut, we had 3 local tracks within 35 minutes of where I live. So I spent a lot of Thursday nights, Friday nights, and Saturday nights running between Thompson Motor Speedway, Stafford Speedway in Stafford, Connecticut, and then in Long Island, New York, there was a track called Riverhead Raceway. So I raced there weekly, but as well as running the Wheel and Modified Tour, which is a open wheel, 2,600-pound, 15-inch wide tire, 700 horsepower race car up and down the East Coast. So I primarily stayed on the East Coast, but I loved the racing up there. We had a lot of legends or local heroes for sure, like Ted Christopher, Mike Stefanik, Richie Evans, all guys that came up from that way.
It's been fascinating to watch just how different racetracks have raced differently with the new car. I've noticed certainly with the dynamic of losing the air, it's been very tough to pass at some of these tracks. Have you emphasized qualifying more than in the past because passing has been a little bit more difficult with this car?
Man, you've been looking at our notes, because that is exactly what we're focusing on.
Sometimes the conversation can go off the tracks. It's time for Wacky Wednesday.
All right, Wacky Wednesday here as I try to reach the cup live radio. Again, great. All right, so we've got Tom. Again, these are going to be a lot of different flavored sodas here. Again, we've got 11 of them for Wacky Wednesday today.
There's 11.
So I think when we did the taste test last time, we did 8. So I think it's safe to say this will take the full hour. So I'm glad we're starting right now. So I got to make sure everyone that's got one for now.
I'm nervous.
You should be, I think.
So I'm nervous with this one now.
Oh, no. Everyone ready for number 3? All right. JJ's ready. Yeah, he's just went for it. Yeah. Oh, you're chugging, too. I'm going 2 or 3 sips so I can get the essence down.
I did not like that as much.
Yeah, I don't
it's
know
not
what
bad, but I wouldn't buy that.
I don't know what that is.
What is that smell thing?
Yeah.
That's a weird experience. That is strange.
This has got, you know what? This reminds me of like a medicine.
Oh,
It does.
This reminds me of some sort of medicine.
that is medicine-y. This is not good.
This is definitely the least. Can we all? Is anyone happy with this?
This is in third place right now.
It's
gotta be the-
fine.
It's not fine.
It's fine.
I don't know, man. I
it's-
wouldn't drink this again.
All right, so do we want to know what that is?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is peanut butter and jelly.
Whoa. No, I don't think so.
I don't
Are you
think so.
sure?
0 out of 10.
I didn't taste
I don't
any
approve.
of
Peanut butter and jelly soda.
that. Did
There
any
was
of
no
you?
peanut butter. I didn't taste any peanut butter.
I didn't taste
And I don't
either of
eat
those things.
And usually peanut butter is like one of those flavors that really like comes out.
Yeah, it
and-
over-
I love peanut butter.
Yeah.
The idea of that was appetizing to me, but
I had a PB&J for lunch.
yeah. So did that remind you of lunch?
No.
No?
No.
I don't know if I like the color of this one.
Yeah, that's
this
kinda
looks
scary.
like motor oil.
Don't smell that one.
Pennzoil.
Wow.
I don't know if I can say what this
no.
Oh,
I don't
so
think
this is-
so. Do I have to?
so
I
this
might not
is-
finish this one.
this is
What are we?
Oh, no.
Should have taken the break.
this is very yellow.
the-
I'm not gonna lie. This actually looks like a cup of urine.
It does.
Right.
It does. I didn't
Ryan.
want to say it, but Tom is correct.
You're not going to want this?
No.
What?
Cheers.
Oh,
cheers.
God.
Cheers.
God
I'm
help
telling you,
us.
that,
Dink-
that
God help
smell is bad.
There we go.
Dink it and
Who's the
sink
guy?
it.
All right,
Who's
here
the
we
guy
go.
who's on ESPN?
Try this.
All right. Brooks just took it to the head.
It's not good.
Oh no, that's
So it's not good.
actually. It's not as bad as the smell. It's not as bad. We've got the first gag.
That is terrible.
We've got the first gag.
That sucks.
I really
That
want it
sucks
to
a
be.
lot.
I really want it to be banana. I really want it to be banana.
I think I can. Hang on.
I really want it to be
Sucks
banana.
so much.
Oh, I can't.
What
get
did
past
you call the
smell of
thing?
that.
Not,
you can't
what did it
smell
mean?
this.
not the end of it. The back end.
Yeah, the
Terrible.
back end, yeah.
Oh,
I
Otherwise
finished it
known as
like
the
a champ.
aftertaste.
Please be banana.
It's
the
not
aftertaste
particularly
is
good.
awful.
I can't get the smell out of my nose.
The smell was
That is
awful.
sweet corn.
All right, there we go. That explains a lot.
Yeah.
Again, I ask, why does this exist?
Cam's looking great right now. He's like, yeah, I don't need to
I
try
have
any of this. It's
zero
good.
regrets. Zero.
Jay, we had our first gag.
Welcome back to Sports Call on Tiger 95.9. Ryan Lavoie and Brooks Childress with you. Now, we are pleased to be joined by the head soccer coach of Auburn University, Coach Karen Hoppe. Coach, the time is greatly appreciated. I know opening week here is coming up shortly. I know it's a very exciting time of year. Hope you're doing well, and we're very thankful for the time today.
Hey, I'm doing great, and thanks for having me on the show. It's an exciting time of year for sure.
Coach, on this program all the time, we discuss NIL, particularly in the football and basketball world, but I'm curious, educate us, educate our listeners on what NIL means to you with the soccer program, how it affects your program, and just the sport of women's college soccer.
Yeah, it's up and coming, I would say, in soccer for sure. It's starting to get into the recruiting, and it's one of the questions that we get, and we definitely are in a position that we are looking to get more of our players on NIL deals. I think that's going to help us. We are in soccer an equivalency sport, so we're like baseball where our scholarships are all split up. So getting NIL money will really help our players even help pay their tuition. So I think it's really important. I think it's something we're starting to see in the recruiting battles. And I think as the years go on, it's going to be more and more significant in our sport.
And Coach, I just wanted to bring this up. You kind of went viral on TikTok here recently. So can we expect more from the Karen Hoppa TikTok, or is this just a one and done thing?
I did one in preseason last year, and so they roped me into one in preseason this year. Amy Reeve, my director of ops, was the choreographer. I did not plan any of it. Truth be told, I didn't even know the TikTok before they roped me into it. So we'll see. We'll see. It did go viral. It's still getting some hits. So I'll let this one play out, and then we'll have to decide from there what's next.
We're very thrilled to be joined by our good friend Ryan McGee of the SEC Network and ESPN. Ryan, the time is greatly appreciated. It's been a while since we got caught up. What's been good with you, man?
Just this has been great, man. It's been all due respect to Hoover and even like college
Atlanta.
I love the College Football Hall of Fame. I could spend so much time there. But that was weird. That layout wasn't the best for this. This has been great. Yeah. I mean, and Nashville specializes in events. There's a reason that the NHL draft was just here, for heaven's sake. So it's been a great week. And I also feel, Marty and I were talking about this. We've been doing our Marty McGee talking season interviews for our specials that are run next month. We talked to all the coaches, handful of players. But last year we all had to ask questions about NIL and transfer portal and conference expansion and all that stuff. And this year I feel like we're kind of back to talking about ball. Yeah. Certainly had to talk some of these other things, but talking about football and then also talking about, just we can also ask some goofy questions again. The last couple of years I had asked COVID and all this other stuff. And so it's been good.
Well, now you said the venue has been great. I agree, but the fact that they're basically rebuilding the entire city of Nashville out here around us is kind of weird.
And I didn't know the deal, honestly. So people think Marty's in Nashville all the time, right? Because he dates Eric's church and all that. Did you catch that? But he's here all the time, and he loves it here, and they love him here. I'm never here. I'm never in Nashville. I don't come to the SEC basketball tournament usually. I might come in and do some Vanderbilt baseball stuff, but I didn't know this was going on until I was here. But it sounded like they needed to do it. It sounded like the bridge is going to fall over. But yeah, it's been. Anybody needs an update on the bridge construction? It's been like a drive-in movie. My window has just looked down on it, and they work all night. I tell you that. 4 o'clock in the morning last night, the guy had the jackhammer going.
That's not ideal for the sleep cycle. So that will do it for this Abbey edition of Sports Call Auburn. We want to thank all of our guests that joined us throughout this year, and of course, thank all the listeners and callers. We couldn't do this show without you. And a huge shout out to our general manager, Brooke Myers, who is a huge support to us. So for Tom Peavy, Cam Berry, Brant Daughtry, and Brooks Childress, I'm Ryan Lavoie. Thanks for listening.